What is going on, everybody? It's me, Mukala Kabongo. Once again, we have another Athletes Corner segment for you guys, and today we have Saugus High senior Tommy DeSimone. DeSimone was a varsity football player for the Saugus Sachems. He was a Lynn Item All-Star. He was a Northeastern Conference All-Star. He rushed for over 1,000 yards. He totaled 14 touchdowns. Just an all-around football player for Saugus. So we talked about his senior year. We talked about his decision to play football at the University of New England. And we talked about some other stuff as well. So check this Athletes Corner out, and I hope you enjoy it. Hello and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner. I guess this monitor is not on, but whatever. I'm here with Saugus High senior Tommy DeSimone. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Just fresh out of school. Been thinking about this all day, and I'm excited to finally be here now.
Hey, man, fresh out of school. Last year, you got, my message to all seniors is like, just make it through February vacation.
Yep.
Once February vacation comes and goes, it's cruise control time, man. We got a lot to talk about. Senior year for you, the 2023 season football. You put up a great senior year, man. When you just look back at everything that you and the team did, what's kind of your biggest takeaway?
It's hard not to smile because, for a season the way we had it, so many up and downs we experienced. Sophomore and junior year, we were 0-11 and 1-10, so we knew that, things had to change. Guys got on a lot of recruiting, a lot of off-season work, a lot of stuff like that, and just, it was all paying off. We started off 3-0. That was the first time the program did that in 15 years. Yeah. And then, going to Swampscott, which was a huge game for us, because, a lot of people can't tell you the last time Saugus beat Swampscott. Yeah. You lose your quarterback for the season. Your 2 middle linebackers are out. A lot of guys are playing out of position. Sophomore quarterback. A lot of other underclassmen stepping up and just had a stretch of losing then winning again. It was just an up and down season, but I'm just so proud of the way the guys fought the entire time, because now it's just like you changed the program for a while because you're having the best season you had in so long. 5 wins is a lot. Obviously, we could have done more, but it's hard not to look back and just appreciate how great it really was. Yeah, you got 5 wins, but I mean, coming off from what it was your freshman and sophomore year, I feel like that's kind of like starting a foundation of kind of getting things rolling in the right way. So the next crop of players can just continue that and make a playoff following year. That's how the tradition starts. I think, in my opinion. Talk about that game though, Swampscott game, because how do you mentally? How do you deal with that when you're losing all your guys? I know I know you have to still play, but just mentally as young men, you're seeing your friends, your teammates just going down like that, going down with injuries, and then you're just like, this isn't. We're just coming off a high off last week, and now this is it's like lightning struck real quick. You don't realize how much those people really, mean to the team, and so you get into those games without them because we weren't able to get anything going offensively. Obviously, as a running back, the passing game helps the running game. If you're able to pass the ball, the running game opens up. We were able to get nothing going. I mean, we were also missing our starting center. Obviously, Brandon Filella, the stay and tackle, was an amazing player, both sides of the ball. Didn't have him. A lot of new guys starting on the O-line, and just, our sophomore quarterback who stepped up, Jordan Rodriguez, had a tough time. Obviously, it's your first high school star. You're only a sophomore. You're going against, a lot of older guys. It's tough, and just, props to him. He stayed in there, but he got suffocated. It was a rough game all around. But at halftime, when you're down, 35-0, it's just like, man, those guys really meant a lot. You just wish they were here right now. But what's good thing about football is you get the next week again and the next week to prepare. So we were able to just, change up the way we did things. Obviously, that Swampscott game, we tried to do the things that we were doing before when everyone was healthy, but we had to switch it up. We couldn't do that anymore, and we kind of became more of a, run first down team. And then we got guys back defensively when we were a fully healthy team. It was starting to click again. We got a big win in Falmouth, and then that bigger win in Pawtucket. But it was a difficult transition, but we were able to figure it out down the road.
Yeah, when you have a young quarterback that just gets thrown into fire like that, how were you and some of the guys just were able to ease him in, after that, as he was aware that he's going to be starting for a little bit and his reps are going to increase? How were you guys just able to ease him in so he could get that comfortability and try to progress and play the quarterback position like you guys probably saw him in practice before all that?
Well, that week when Cam got hurt during practice, it wasn't even during the Lynn Tech game, the first thing my head coach, Stephen Cummings, said to me was to make sure that J-Rod knows that he's the guy for this job. You know, make sure his confidence up the entire week. And I think guys had a great attitude towards him, especially before that first start for him, the Swampscott game. I was letting him, like, you're the man. Like, let's go, man. This is your team now for the rest of high school.
Yeah.
So, you know, he had great talent around him too. You got guys like Isaiah Rodriguez and Amin Tabubi, who are amazing receivers for us. Isaiah was 7th in the state in receiving yards this year with 800 something, I forget, like that in the mid range. You know, just able to, you know, get the ball quick and just get the ball quick and let your playmakers make plays. And I think down the road he was able to do that. I think his first win as a varsity quarterback versus Falmouth, no interceptions, close to 100 yards and a touchdown pass is pretty solid for a sophomore, 5'6" kid. So, you know, he's a very confident kid. He's a 3-sport athlete, very smart. He's good at all sports, so we know we had full confidence in the kid. I mean, he's been a lot of under pressure his entire life, so now, you know, he was ready for the moment.
Yeah, that's definitely good. And I just want to read off some stats for you individually. So you were NEC Conference All-Conference team. That's 2 years in a row you made that. Over 1,100 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns. You had a kickoff for a touchdown. You had 2 interceptions, 3 fumbles. You forced 2 fumbles, and then you had over 1,500 total yards on offense. Total of 14 touchdowns. I mean, when somebody reads off those numbers to you, and then you just think about that, how far you came from your freshman year and then to your senior year, just what does that? Where does that come from? Like for you to be able to produce like that? What do you think about when you were able to have that type of production, like the stuff that happened that people didn't see for you to have that productive season?
It's a lot of hard work. I mean, if you looked at my sophomore and junior year, I was more of a defensive player. My entire highlight tape was more of a defensively. Everyone knew me as a defensive player. But a lot of hard work I put into this offseason. Of going to the field early in the morning, the gym, going to the beach, doing all I can to get footwork in. It also helps with being a running back is not a position where it's like a wide receiver where it's man on man and it's just you out there. Yeah. A lot has to go right. We have a great offensive line coach and Coach Greg Bluestein. He came over for Everett this year for us, also our defensive coordinator. He got the line going really, really well. The line was, moving bodies. I mean, I was able to run through some really big holes this year. I mean, I had 7 touchdowns in the first 3 games this year, and the first thing I said immediately was to credit my O-line. I mean, I bought them food after the both Lynn Tech and the both games.
You got to keep them happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got the Northeast game for us to score 3 touchdowns. The Lynn Tech game also 3 touchdowns back-to-back weeks. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and take all the credit because obviously I know how much goes into the being a running back and how it has to correlate with the line because the line's the most important position in football.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, didn't have the up-to-standard line that we wanted to have, and then this year, the guys really all put it together. I mean, it was a great group. I think, like I said, Brandon Fiala, Ethan Malcolm, Larry Barrows, Wilson LaFortune, Kobe Jett. Guys like that have just, they were unbelievable for us this year. Also, we have a couple of younger guys like Dwayne Williams who stepped in us for center towards the end of the year when, we had 2 injuries at that position too. So overall, it was a great group, and, those guys were able to help me produce on the ground all year. Also, both quarterback plays with Jordan and Cam, getting me the receiving yards. And like I said, also with the kick return touchdown, a lot of blocking to that. Right. You got to credit a lot of guys when it comes to some of these plays, man. But, I'm really just thankful that I had such great teammates and good coaches and great coaches, I should say, to be in positions to make plays like that all year long.
Definitely. And as a running back, there's also that aspect you got to block too.
Yeah.
Because in the passing game, there'll be certain times where they're not putting you out to go off of receiving. You have to block it for if the defense is bringing in an extra man. Was that one of the aspects of your game that that improved? The blocking or picking up of like linebackers or helping out with the chipping defensive ends and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely, because my early Pop Warner days, I was a lineman. Then I became a tight end, and then I strictly only played defense, and then, became a running back for the first time, and for very pass-heavy teams where I had to block most of the time. So I always had the experience of blocking in general. Obviously, there's only 5 linemen when a team blitzes 7. You can't pick them all up. So there's times we have to pick up 2 guys. It's more about, taking up as much space as possible to give Cam or Jordan, whoever's back there, give them the protection to throw. So I think throughout my high school career, as you get older, stronger, and bigger, I think it kind of comes naturally, blocking it. And it's also a mentality thing and just, protecting the guys behind you. Because the guys up front are protecting you. You got to protect the guy behind you who has to make the plays. The quarterback's the most important position in football. The first 3 games, our quarterback was playing with a torn meniscus, so I know how important picking up blocks for him was, because one bad thing happens and there goes your entire season. I mean, obviously, unfortunately, he got hurt during practice, but I think the first 3 games he was pretty clean. So between me and the O-line, I think we did a good job of picking up blocks. I think that's one of aspects of my game that I think improved throughout my career.
Now, you were named Item All-Star.
Yep.
You I also mentioned you were named Northeast All-Star. Your teammate Brandon, he was named the Defensive Player of the Year on the Item. How proud are you for him just for getting that accomplishment, and for you two being on the same path of the accomplishment you both have? Just how proud of you from the production-wise that he had, and just everything that he's accomplished his senior year?
Braden is hands down the best player I think I've ever played with in my entire life. He led the state in tackles this year too, for I think the 2nd year in a row. Had over 400 career tackles. I mean, he's just a force defensively. When we didn't have him for those 2 games, me and my teammate Amin, we had to play middle linebacker, and it's just like, how does he go out there every single play, gives 100%, and like just makes these plays that just like he's such a big kid. He shouldn't move like that.
Right.
When he gets in your grasp, it's like he's not getting out of it. I mean, you saw in the Lynn Tech game, he got a pick six. I mean, that was it's like a guy like that big, moving the way he does and is making plays year in and year out since he was a sophomore. I mean, he's been all conference 3 years straight.
Yeah.
Now he's paid off. He had an an offer to URI. He's now going to St. Anselm's to play D2 ball and do accounting. So it is really awesome that me and him had such great careers and helped build up this program. I mean, me and him talked about it the other day. Just like it sucks that me and him aren't going to be playing with each other anymore, but we're going to be going to each other's games when we can, supporting each other. So without each other, I think that being captains for so long with each other. We both helped each other develop good relationships and leadership, abilities. So he is hands down the best player I've ever played with, and I'm just so grateful for my time to be playing with him.
Were you both All-State honorable mentions?
No,
or not yet. But you were on the Herald All-Scholastic, correct?
I don't know.
I saw. I didn't see the list, but
apparently, me and him weren't on it. So I mean, we were a little bit upset about that. I mean, but
hey, man,
it is what it is,
Hey, I mean, you got enough awards anyway. So you made the decision to go to University of New England, correct? That up in Maine. What was the process like deciding which school you were going to choose and how it came down to that? And can you tell the audience how many schools were interested in having you come to their campus and being part of their football program?
Yeah, the recruiting process was hard. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I always said, you only go through this process once in your life, so you might as well enjoy it as much as you can. But it was stressful because a lot of times you just don't know where you're going to go. You don't know what school's going to come out of the blue, so it gets hard at times. I had opportunities from schools like obviously UNE. Nichols, Westfield State, Anna Maria, Fitchburg State, Framingham State, Southern Connecticut State at D2. I talked to a couple other D2s, but when it came down to UNE, I mean, I've been up there to school 5 times, and the first time I was up there in the summer, Coach Roost, the recruiting coordinator, hit me up to come up, and I was just like, definitely, because I heard so much about the school. When you go up there, and I was just so amazed because they got the blue field, which is very unique, and they got these facilities that just you just don't expect a D3 school to have these kind of facilities. I mean, I feel like I was at a D1 school. Like I felt at home. I went to the camp. I balled the camp, had a great time, and I didn't hear from them for like a month or 2. But after a couple games in the season, I got the call from Coach Roos, and he told me that they're gonna offer me a spot there. And I told my friends about it, and they were excited for me because they know about UNE, like this is the place you should go.
Yeah.
Down the road, season ends. I go on my official visit overnight there, and with the players, just watching the Washington, Oregon game this year in college football. I clicked with all the players in the team so instantly, and I was like, this is home. Like I feel like I belong here, and it's just that I didn't want to leave here empty-handed.
Yeah.
So we took, had a little photo shoot in the uniforms. That was cool, and I got an email, got accepted into the school when I was there. So before I left, when we had like a little sit-down with the head coach, I told him that I'm going to go home and talk to my family, but I think this is where I want to be for the next 4 years, and that's where I'm going. I'm really excited. I mean, I get to play for Coach Lichten, head coach there. He's an amazing coach. Obviously, Coach Roost. Coach Trishita, Coach Therian, a lot of great coaches on the defensive side of the ball that want me to play outside linebacker, and I'm super excited. I mean, it feels so long away, but it's just like I just wish it would just come here quick because I'm more than fired up to be playing college football, man. I'm so excited.
Definitely. Did anyone else, any of your other relatives or family members play a college sport?
So my uncle, Rodney Lavoie Jr., he played at Saugus High. Probably a better player than me. He was unbelievable. I mean, he ran for 250 yards versus PB in a torn hamstring his senior year. He wanted to go play at Bridgewater State, but that torn hamstring from that Peabody game, he never really got healed and still really messed up to this day. You know, the first 2 days of camp, he was returning kicks and just kind of like, you know, he was only 5'6" too, and it was just like, the heart wasn't there anymore, so that was it. But besides that, I'm the only one that's going to be going, you know, playing in college, which is, you know, exciting to be the first in the family generation.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, how good is that for you? And it's also close by, so the family can take the drive to the games to see you, man. How good does that feel? You're the first one in the family to go to college and play a sport. I'm not going to college, but play a college sport, I should say.
Well, the big part of my recruit process was to make sure I could go somewhere where my family can come watch me play. And being UNE, only being an hour or 20 minutes, less than that away, it was perfect. And especially, too, like the game day environment for them. When I went on my game day visit there, it's an incredible, incredible game day environment with like 2,000 fans going to games. Like I said, it doesn't feel like you're at a D3 school. The tailgating's unbelievable. I think my family itself is going to have an amazing time there, and I think that was a huge thing for me in my recruiting process was that is my family going to have fun going to these games? And I think they're going to, because it's a very huge game day experience for UNE. I mean, they're a very big sporting school in general, so. You know, that was a really big factor in my recruiting process, and my family is more than excited to come up next year and see me play in college.
Yeah, man, that's definitely great. That's great to hear. Congratulations on everything, man. Before we get out of here, plug in your social media. If people want to contact you, reach you up, plug that in. That's your camera right there.
Instagram, Tommy DeSimone1. Twitter or X, Tommy DeSimone_. Those are my main 2 platforms you can follow me on. Probably follow you back, but you know, I want to thank you for letting me come on here today, man. I was really excited. I love talking football, man.
Yes, sir. Most memorable game before we get out of here. Most memorable game.
Probably our game versus the Northeast Vogue. Kind of not our rivals, but in our opinion, our rivals, because you know, my sophomore and junior year, they beat us pretty bad. My sophomore year, we have a whole brand new stuff at Saugus, like a whole new field, stuff like that. The first ever play at that field, they took the opening kickoff to the house. Oh, man. Lost 28-0. The next year, 42 to 12, and we're just like, you know, that always stuck with us. So the entire practice week, I don't think we ever had a week of practice like that again, because we put the combined score up on the scoreboard for the entire week just to look at, just know like how the last 2 years have gone, and just, you know, we came out there, you know, they're a very hard-nosed team. They run like, you know, like double wing, double tight, try to run the ball in the middle. 4 and out, went down, I scored, they scored. It was just such a back and forth game. It was the most packed game I've ever been a part of. I mean, there was just so many people just lined across the stadium. And then it came down to, you know, they had the ball last. We're up 28-22 with 50 seconds left. They run like a little like toss pass, trick play. Ball gets tipped in the air. Ryan Shea picks it off, and we won, and it was the first time 2-0 in so long, and like the huge celebration. We hopped in the stands after the game, going crazy, and there was mosh pits in the parking lot. I couldn't, because like we haven't won so much in the past, so I haven't been able to experience some of this stuff. It was crazy, but I think that's my favorite moment in high school that I've ever been a part of, and I'm just we and my friends watched that game so many times because we all made so many big plays, and just and 2 of our best friends play for that team too, so playing against them in our senior year was like awesome. We were all, you know, some of us are all captains too, so like meeting at the 50 to shake hands with my friends Jackson Osoro and Aiden Jones, who play for the Vogue, just coming out of the coin toss and like you giving them hugs and be like, wow, man, this last ride playing against each other, I mean, it was the best of it. It was awesome, man. I can't put into words how much I love that. That was awesome.
Oh man, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. That's Tommy DeSimone. Once again, congratulations on everything. Thank you, Riley, for doing the stuff behind the scenes. And you guys have been watching Athletes Corner. We'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Big thank you to Tommy DeSimone for coming on and chatting with me. It was a great time. I enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, we will see you guys. Enjoy your day, ladies and gentlemen.